and thank you for joining us for another episode of Let's Go Awesome. Today we will be discussing privacy. It is often said that privacy is the ability to express oneself selectively with whomever we choose. But how much privacy do we actually have today? What are your thoughts, ladies?
In the world of social media today, I think it's a tricky question. I think, especially for relationships, so in a love relationship, whether your relationship is serious or not is if it made it to social media. So if it's Instagram or Facebook official, right? And I'm one that doesn't agree with that at all, because I love to keep my relationship to myself. And looking at you guys as Facebook and Instagram, I'm seeing that you guys are a bit on the same page, I think. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. But mostly for me, I think we need to build a strong foundation first between ourselves and our families and friends before we can share it with the world. And I feel like sharing it with the world is inviting people into your relationship in some way.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like you said, a lot of people base like the whether or not a relationship is official based off of like whether it's on social media, which shouldn't be like
That's absolutely ridiculous.
It is. Yeah, that shouldn't be the defining moment. Like, does everybody know about us, kind of thing. I do agree. Like, I also keep my relationship status and my relationships private. Relationship, actually, because I'm only in one. But like, I do keep it private because I don't think it's for like public consumption. I don't think what I do in my personal life is for is like when you start to like bring it, when you start to make it public, you start to like invite other people's opinions on things that really doesn't have anything to do with them. So yeah, like I agree. Like I try to keep my relationship off social media.
Yeah, I do. And also I think there's a difference between privacy and secrecy. So just because you're private with your relationship, that doesn't mean that the relationship is secret. And also, a lot of people are more inclined to, say what's on their mind, and other people are more, excuse me, laid back as far as like, they don't want to share everything on social media. And for me, um, I'm on the same boat with you guys. I don't like to share my relationship, like, or anyone that I'm dating as far as that. And I think it's one thing that I kind of talk to my partner about as far as, when it comes to me and my relationship, I like to keep that private. I don't want it to be on the limelight. And it's not because I'm hiding the person or I'm trying to do anything fishy. It's more so, I think, it's like my relationship. It's not everybody else's. And the less you keep, the more private I say you are, the better it is as far as your relationship. I think when you put it out there for everyone else to see and everyone else to but him, you're going to create issues that's gonna arise within that relationship. There's going to be, oh, I saw him, and he was talking to this person and that person. So it's gonna be, there's like he say, she say type of thing. And I think privacy is that.
I think a lot of people, that's their issue with it. It's if my partner cannot make me public, they're hiding. It's because they want the freedom to do other things and they want to hide something.
Yeah.
And
that's what I was going to say. What is it that we think makes everyone feel like they have to or want to share their relationship publicly? What is that thing?
Yeah, I think it's more so the generation that we're living in. Everything has to be publicized in order for people to validate it, like you say, Ta.
Yeah.
And it's more so following a trend that everyone else is doing, and it's knowing yourself and knowing what you're standing for and not falling into that trend that everyone else is doing. Just because somebody do it, that doesn't mean that I have to go out there and do the same thing. And just because he's claiming you publicly. That doesn't mean like, just
Anything.
mine is not claiming
I
you
think
publicly,
also,
you
I
know.
think it's about accountability too. Just to like extend upon like your point, Priska, Sarah, was that like I think people think that like just because somebody's public, like the public is going to hold them accountable, but that's not always true. Like there
Oh,
was a very popular YouTuber who had her whole life on like social media, not her whole life, but like a majority of her life and her relationship on social media. And the person was still like her significant other was still out there, talking to her actual followers.
right,
So it
right.
doesn't hold people accountable.
I
Exactly.
think that also the point, there's a different aspect to it as well. We, with social media, we tend to want to share our happy moments, the best part of our lives. And I think there's this simple fact that we also, our relationships make us happy, especially if we're in a healthy one, and we want to share it with the world. uh, though, because a relationship is public doesn't mean that it's healthy, right? They show us the good side.
Yeah.
Gareth, I want to hear your take.
I agree with you. So we have this life that we live online, sharing our best moments, date night with Bay. uh, the things you do, the places you visit. Um, but what happens when things turn sour? We don't share that online,
Mhm.
and um, and if you automatically stop sharing those things, then you have people that will question and be like, oh, what happened to this guy or that guy?
Yeah.
And you're inviting that into your life because you're putting a show out there saying, this is who I'm dating, we're doing this and we're doing that. So if if you happen to be one of those people that is an exception and do post when you're having a bad part of a relationship or a fight or something like that, then you also open yourself to people's opinion about that fight, and they'll tell you, oh, he wasn't, he's not good enough for you anyway.
Right.
Simple things like that. So I'm pretty into what Sarah said about privacy, not secrecy. Yes, it's okay to post a picture once in a while, you did this, or the holidays, or people like to post holiday pictures, and that's fine. This is the person I'm with. But I don't think it has to be entirely, your entire relationship has to be online.
I think more so a lot of people that are in a relationship feel like it's an obligation for them to kind of post that they're doing fine, and it's like, all the time like good, and it's not like, we all know like,
Relationships are
right,
hard.
it's not always, all happiness, or I bicker with my partner, and it's okay. And
Mm-hmm.
like, you're gonna grow by going through these hardships that you go through. You're gonna go through it. So I'm not sure why it's like that, but I blame it on social media.
Right, right. The constant pressure to look good.
Yeah.
And what that does is that, like, it's no wonder there's so much depression out there, because people are looking at the best moments of your life. They're
Yeah.
looking at your happy moments, and they don't know the negative. And I don't think there's anything wrong with not sharing the negative. It has a negative impact, but I think you also have the right to share what you want to share.
Right.
Right? And if it's just a happy moment, and that's okay. It's just, unfortunately, that has a negative impact on other people's mental.
I also feel like a relationship shouldn't be like a production. Can you imagine like like being in a relationship with somebody who constantly has like their phone in your face,
Right.
capturing every single like intimate moment. You should be able to like be at peace and be comfortable with the person that you're with, and not have to think about the thousands of other people who are also like, taking in what you're putting out there as well. That's just like that's stressful. It doesn't allow for vulnerability, and that's like, I think that's one of the cornerstones of a relationship, is to be able to be vulnerable with somebody, and you can't do that with a camera in your face.
And
Right, we're not present. We're taking we're spending time with the person thinking about our next Instagram post.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people are doing it just for a show. And a lot of people get into relationship, I feel, for the wrong reason because they just want to be like, oh, I'm with this person.
Right.
And I guess I'm saying that maybe on more so on the celebrity side of aspect of it. But it's just, I feel like a lot of it is a facade of, this is what I'm doing now and this is how happy I am. And we all know it's BS. Like, come on, like,
Well, the truth is, I don't blame them.
Yes, I mean, some people are genuinely happy, and some people generally want to share that, and both partners are okay with it. So I don't think it's it could be BS sometimes, but I don't think it's necessarily BS all the time.
all the time, but I'm like, sometimes it is because I haven't seen someone that can say, okay, I'm happy 100% of the time with the person that I am, and we haven't had one fight.
Do you guys
Right.
I feel like we've named like the downsides of it. Do you guys think there are upsides to having it public and on social media?
I feel like for the people that post, I've followed a couple, parent pages where they post their families and holidays and their relationships and the trips that they take, and it can be beautiful. I mean, it can be inspiring. It can provide people with, a chance to see things differently, like the most things that social media does for us, the good things that social media does for us. It helps us to see other parts of the world, relate to other people, see how they do things. Perhaps, it's something we can improve on in our own personal life. So there are some good aspects. I love seeing family Christmas photos. Like, I love everyone wearing the same colors, and I love seeing those pictures. So to me, I would say that's a great aspect of showing your relationship with your family and your kids. And I think that's a great aspect of it. So
I think imagine if people did the opposite of what they're doing right now. So instead of posting the positive, they're just posting the negative. I think that would be depressing. We live in a world that's already, I don't want to sound we live in a world that's kind of already depressing if we sit and think about all of its problems, right? So it's nice and refreshing, and it gives you something to aspire to.
Yeah, look forward to.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've discussed privacy in terms of the social media. How about privacy within a relationship itself? What do you guys think? How much privacy should couples have within their relationships?
I feel like
you're laughing.
I think there should be some form of privacy within the relationship, but as long as that privacy, it's not something that's going to put a strain within that relationship. Let's say cheating. I guess the way I could explain that is, let's say if it's something bad, something terminal, or something, you have to spare the person. If I'm gonna spare you from being hurt, and it's not something that's really, let's say I didn't do anything bad, but I could spare you of something that could hurt you, maybe I could keep that privacy from you in a way.
That's considered a lie.
I don't know, Sarah. I feel like maybe I'm naive, but I feel like I want total. I'm hoping for a relationship where communication is very open, where I'm with someone who I can easily share things with.
Yeah,
I'm right there with you, Woodland. I would appreciate a relationship where, if I ask you a question, you don't automatically assume that I'm trying to invade your privacy.
Yeah.
And also, what we have to understand is that we take our phones and they literally have our lives. They have so much information. So the whole thing about if you feel like your partner has to literally pick up your phone and go through it and to find out something about you,
Yeah.
or and for you to go and scream at them and say, hey, this is my gadget, it's my privacy, and you're invading my privacy, then there's something wrong there. There's much more wrong there that you guys need to discuss. Then
Talking about phone, is it okay to share password as far as within the relationship when it comes to privacy?
Well,
So
like, why is that necessary to share like password? I'm just curious. I'm not going against what you're saying. I'm just curious.
like, since, you guys mentioned you want it to be like transparency, you want total transparency. So would you have like a password on your phone, or would you let your partner go in and out of your phone as they please?
I don't see a problem with it. It bothers me if I'm in a relationship with the person has a problem with me seeing the content of their phone.
How about you, partner? You're laughing. You're saying you want transparency, so that is a part of transparency.
I mean, I've never been with someone that I've shared my password with to my phone with. I've never seen that the importance of you being able to pick up my phone whenever you want to. I don't see.
Why not? Are you hiding something on that phone?
What are you hiding, Gordon? Tell us.
It's not necessarily about hiding something. It's just
you would feel like the person is invading your privacy.
Yes.
But you just said you wanted total transparency.
But here's the thing, like what we're missing with this conversation is that, like,
instead, like what is it that you need to find that you can't ask me?
No, not behind your back. I'm saying, like, to just leave it, like, in total open. So if they wanted to go through it, they could go through it. Like, let's say, because my sister, she's married, and sometimes I'm calling her and it's the husband that answered the phone, and they have, like, sometimes he goes to work with her phone by mistake, and it's like, it's no problem. So I'm saying, like, would you be okay with that?
Oh.
Tal, would you be okay with that?
I think the issue is like intimacy, right? Like, how intimate are you with that person? Because I think that plays a role in like where you set your boundaries in terms of privacy. If you're the kind of person who can be very intimate about like the ugliest parts of you, and that person is still like very accepting and okay with it, I don't think sharing your phone password is going to be a problem. But if you're also that person who has an issue with being intimate with yourself and with other people, sharing your phone password and having that person, even if it's not like a really bad, ugly thing, it's going to be a problem for you,
Right.
because you're not willing to share with yourself, or you're not willing to admit with yourself, and you're not really willing to admit with other people.
On the other hand, I feel like if someone feels the need to go through my phone because they're suspicious of anything, or if I feel the need to go through my phone's partner, then there's a problem.
There's a lack of trust.
Yeah, there's a lack of trust, and it comes from somewhere, maybe.
Right, and I feel like we all have our different selves, your work self and your home selves, and if your partner is not aware of who you are at work, or if they're not accepting or can't really, to me, because when I'm texting, the way I text a coworker is going to be different than the way I text my brother or my sister or my friends in general. Mm-hmm. So there are different aspects of yourself, like Tom mentioned, intimacy, that someone needs to be able to get to know and be okay with in order to be able to share all these things with. So
there's also friendships. If I'm friends with you, Gardet, and you're with someone, does that mean that whatever I text you, whatever I send you, that your partner automatically knows?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, like, you share everything with that person.
And I don't feel that that's necessary. Like, because what if what Lynn told me was something that she didn't wish to share with anybody else? Mm-hmm. So now somebody else knows it. It just, to me, just because we're intimate doesn't mean you need to be intimate with the details of Woodlyn's life.
So there is such thing as, like, keeping a certain privacy within your relationship, if it's not going to put a strain in that relationship. Or like she said, if I'm your friend and I tell you a secret, you don't, and I don't want you to share with your partner. You should be able to respect my privacy as your friend and not share it with your partner.
Imagine, you having a get together and your friend shows up and, automatically your partner already knows what's going on with them and she says something and they're able to answer and you're like looking at each other. What?
Because that will feel
And
bad.
I know people that are, that do that. They share, if you tell her, he knows. So, and maybe it works with some people, but to me, if I had a friend and it was the other way around and they're the one in the relationship, I wouldn't appreciate that. I would not be okay with that.
And I think especially if the person is telling you that in secrecy, you should respect that person and not to go to your partner. But I don't feel like you have to share everything with your partner.
Here's the thing, like I know, these standards of privacy, they're gonna vary from relationship to relationship. So we might think that like, this person, our friend, cannot share everything with their partner, but they probably have a relationship where everything is on the table. How would you deal with the friendship like that?
Oh. No, I mean I would, but I guess maybe there's certain things if I feel like I would want it to be like a secret that I wouldn't tell that person, and if I didn't want them to go and tell their husband, I probably wouldn't share.
Right,
Or
because at that point, it's forcing a level of intimacy between you and this person's partner that you did not want.
Right.
It's they're knowing you on a level that you were not okay with, and I don't think that's fair.
I
I
would
wanna-
hear like a male perspective on this.
Oh yeah, that would have been nice. I wanted to go back to social media, and I'll ask you guys this: what if you're in a relationship with someone who wants to share everything and you don't want, or vice versa? So if both partners are not on the same page, how do you deal with that?
Compromise, I'll say. Christmas, holidays, Thanksgiving, you get your one shot and that's it.
Yeah, I think it's about I think that's a question of like lifestyle, and that points to maybe like possibly having like a difference in lifestyle. Like I don't feel like personally in my lifestyle, I don't feel like everything needs to be on social media, whereas like some people may feel like they need to put everything on social media. So you have to question like, whether your lifestyles are even compatible. That's the way I would view it.
That point, right?
So
Yeah.
if your partner, Talisha, wants to share everything, post a picture of you guys and what you guys are doing every day, are you saying that that's it?
You breaking up with that person?
I have to admit, one of the things I do like about my partner is the fact that they're not even on social media. And so they have like this level of privacy that I've always admired. But like if I was with somebody who was like that, I don't think I would be comfortable with that. Like it's just not my lifestyle.
But I
It's
feel
something
like
I look at. It's something I do look at.
I think it wouldn't even get to a relationship because you
Exactly.
probably that out.
Yeah.
I don't know. And my previous relationship, I'm a very, very private person, and my ex-partner too, but he at a certain point of relationship posted a picture of us online and I panicked. I don't know. I picked up my phone. I said, "What did you do? Why is my picture on?" And he was so hurt by that.
Well, why did you panic?
I don't even understand now. But I lived a life that's been so private, and I'm afraid. I don't know. I'm afraid to share too much. I think it's more of a fear than anything, because I don't think there's actually anything wrong with sharing. Oversharing, yes, but there's there's nothing wrong with sharing. So I panicked. I regretted it in the sense where I was like, if he wants to share it, I don't necessarily have to share it. But if I'm in a real relationship with you and you want to share it, go for it. I don't have to do the same. As long as you're okay with me not having to do the same and you're not tagging me every 5 seconds, we're good.
It is kind of scary though. I remember when like Facebook first started getting big, when it first started like gaining traction. I remember it was scary, like when you got that notification that like you were tagged in a photo,
Right.
and you were like, I don't even, I didn't, I don't, you know, like you just started panicking.
Right.
So
I
you don't know.
hated that, especially if you went out like on a Friday night and then
Yeah.
with a group and they took a picture and, well, who told you I wanted everyone to know where I was on Friday night?
I mean,
Or how I was on Friday night.
That
Dancing
too.
on a table, drunk. Yeah.
So it's pretty empowering, or I don't being able to control the level of privacy in your life, I would say. Um Trying to understand why it's important for someone in a relationship to post something, or trying to compromise between you and your partner, even if it's something, it's not something that is, I wouldn't say not easily discussed, but I don't think, is it at a conversation for you guys in your relationship? Is it something you right off the bat talk about?
yeah, for me, yes. I usually like that's one of the conversation I have with my partner. Like, I don't want you to post me on social media. It's not that, like I said, it's not a secrecy. If I'm outside with you, someone see me with you, that's fine. I don't care. But for you to go and just like invade my privacy and post me, I don't want that because I feel like you're invading my privacy. That's something that I'm not okay with, and I don't want I don't really like people in my business like that. As you guys know that already. So
Right.
I'm very private as far as like my life. I don't share that. I don't want to share that with the outside world. I
Would
feel
you
like
guys say that your families understand or gives you this level of privacy that we're talking about?
they do. My mom is aware. My sister, she's aware. And my sister, she's the same way that I am. And also, like for me to post my nephew, I have to ask her permission to do so. I know it's my nephew, but at the same time, it's her son, and I need to respect her privacy if she wants to share him or not. And I think it was a big issue for my mother because she likes to. She's like to post on Facebook. She's somehow big on Facebook for some reason. And she likes to reshare everything. If we post something, she'll reshare. My sister, she doesn't have social media, but I do. And if I were to post him, she would reshare it on her page. And she's not, yeah, we need to ask her permission. And as far as me and my relationship, my mom, she needs to talk to me first before sharing anything else.
That's something that I do with everybody. If I'm sharing a picture of anybody, I ask always. If you're not comfortable, I will not be sharing it.
And I think that's the way it should be. You should actually ask the person. And I know some people feel like, okay, if we go out together and we took a good picture that gives you the okay to go out and just post whatever you want to post. But I think like, you should at least give me that heads up and hey, I'm about to post this. Are you okay with it?
Right.
Or do you even like it?
Right.
The worst things are
Right.
pictures at
Yeah.
Have you guys ever had that one person, like a friend, maybe even like, I don't know, who would like post pictures that they look great in, but then you look terrible in?
Yeah.
I think
Pictures at the beach. Those are the worst. Beach day pictures, and it's just like everyone looks good, but you're facing this way with like a thing on your face, bad lighting. It's horrible.
my friends know. I'm trying to prove to the world that I'm skinny when I'm really not, so they know to ask me before.
I'm sure you look great.
But what the point is, we all are want to feel comfortable enough. So if it's something that you wouldn't feel comfortable showing or sharing, then it is your right to decline having to share that. And I feel when it comes to privacy, being able to selectively share the information you want with a group of people is important. And so when you're in a relationship and you're questioning whether it's okay to post that online or not, first of all, question yourself as to why is it important for you to post that? Why is it important for you to share with the world? What's and depending on the answer to that question, you want to know, are you trying to prove something, or are you genuinely trying to share with the world just like you share everything else? Because we do share a lot on social media. So to me, restricting having to share your relationship because people don't think you should be online, it's not how you should make that decision. So privacy on social media, yes, is important. To what degree, I guess, is up to you.
That's the question.
Yes. Is there anything else, ladies, you'd like to add?
I'm curious, like, to what degree, to what extent would you guys go? Like, if you were to take a picture with someone else, like, to what degree would you go to, like, block that person out if they didn't want to be in the picture?
Actually, I've untagged myself before, and I think on Facebook now, you could actually ask, before they post it on your page, you could verify before it get posted on your page. So I have that on my page and also on Instagram.
And how badly is it that you need to post that one picture anyway? If somebody is not approving of it, post something else. You know,
crop them out. I don't know.
Crop them out. Well, if they have their hand around your shoulder, you can't really crop them out. But yeah,
face or something.
Well, like I've mentioned before, privacy, the level of privacy of what you want to share online is up to you, and it's very empowering to be able to make that choice. So when posting our relationships and our loved ones and whatever else that we post, be mindful that the choices that we're making or why we're choosing to post, and post smartly.
I love it.
All right, thank you so much, everyone, for participating. Another great episode of Let's Go Awesome. We do post on Thursdays on Facebook and YouTube. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you soon.
And wait,
oh yes,
please comment.
Please comment. Let us know what you think. We'd love that.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.